We're on your side tonight with a question for you. How happy are you with your job? A new survey says the answer for many is not very. A headline got our attention today. It says a third of U.S. workers have seriously considered quitting their job in the last 3 months. The data is from a CNBC SurveyMonkey Workplace Happiness Survey. So why are more people thinking about bolting? Well, no huge surprises there. For one, they feel underpaid, they feel undervalued, and they see a lack of opportunity for growth and promotion. And actually go through it with it, and quitting really isn't that uncommon overall. In fact, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, people quit their jobs in 2018 at the highest rate since 2001. This year, the rate is expected to go even higher. Look at it this way. 3.5 million people leave their job on their own every single month. Now, one thing working for them right now is the current job market. The unemployment rate nationally sits at 3.7%. It's a bit higher in North Carolina, 4.1% statewide. You see that number there, but it's lower here in the Charlotte metro, where we're at that national rate of 3.7%. So is now the time to look around? Are there risks to it? What if you want to stay where you are? What can you do to improve your position? Earlier today, we sat down with HR expert Adam Cannavo. He's a senior consultant at Grove Management. Adam, appreciate you joining us tonight. Thank you. Are you surprised workers are growing sort of increasingly restless?
No, I mean, there's always a portion of the workforce or anybody that you know that always thinks that the grass might be greener on the other side.
So they're looking around. There's another study out there that shows that 3/4 of millennials say that really the best way for them to sort of improve their career lot is by job hopping.
Sure.
Is that a good strategy?
Early in your career, yes. You know, later in your career, maybe not so much, right?
How does it look on a resume? Because there used to be that old rule of thumb, right? That you know, a bunch of jobs in a short period of time doesn't look good. Is that changing with time?
I think it still holds true. So it depends on how old you are, really, or how early you are in your career. Why don't we put it that way, right? So if you look at anybody, baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people aren't going to retire from the job that they held when they were 25, right? People move jobs. Right. It just happens. But at a certain point in your career, you're in a more senior level position, and you've got a lot of responsibility. And if you've got a lot of short tenure senior roles, people are going to question, well, were you there long enough to have an impact?
If you're offering some guidance to somebody who's thinking about this sort of thing, so what kinds of questions should you consider before looking around and taking on another job?
Well, the first thing, you have to look inward and really try to step back from your situation and say, well, what's making me want to leave? You know, what is it about this particular job that makes me think the grass might be greener on the other side? Is it salary? Is it just my boss? I love the company, I love my job, I just maybe am a bad fit with my current manager. You know, or is it the company and you want to move industries? You know, you got to look at those things.
If you're unhappy with your job, maybe it is the pay you're concerned about or the lack of opportunity and promotion that might be out there for you. How do you approach that conversation with your boss?
Oh, sure, yeah. I would definitely think that for most people that's something you want to consider doing before you decide.
But it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Know?
So again, you know, step back from the situation for a second and think about during your tenure there, what have you done to make a difference, right? And a lot of people, I think, don't really think about that. They think about their personal circumstances, and you know, I need a pay increase because I've got, you know, rent went up, or you know, some other, you know, personal situation. But if you think about what you've done for the company, and during the time that you've been there, how you've grown, how you've contributed more, how you've taken on additional responsibility, and then you package that and use those bullet points to talk to somebody about, you know, since I've been here, I feel like I've grown and I've added more value. I think that's worth something.
So it's not the fact that cost of living is going up as in Charlotte. That's not going to get you a pay raise. It's what you have done and what you can continue to do for the company. Let me ask you about from the employer side of this, however. We're not in the recession anymore, right? And it's tough. The job market is tight. Unemployment rates you know, are very low. Do employers need to rethink what they're doing to improve retainment as well, you know?
Yeah, and they are. Yeah, we work with a lot of clients and we see a variety of things that people are doing. They're pulling out all the stops in some instances to really encourage people to stay and make them feel like they have a strong future with the company that they're at. You know, so that's doing employee engagement surveys to kind of figure out exactly what it is that people want and then delivering that. And so that's skill-based training, leadership development programs, team building exercises, all sorts of things.
How important is it for them to do those sort of exit interviews too, and to figure out if we're having people leave all of a sudden, what are we doing wrong?
Sometimes when you're doing the exit interviews, it's already a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where trying to get ahead of that is better. So if you do, there's a lot of organizations out there where you can do employee engagement surveys where you're testing the waters with your entire employee population, not just the ones that have already decided to leave. Most of the time, by the time you're doing an exit interview, their mind was made up a couple of months ago.
They had it figured out.
Yeah.
It's a changing economy, no question about that. We've seen it with the low unemployment and everything else. Adam Cannavo of Groove Management. Appreciate Adam coming in tonight.